In the first innings, we got only 150, and the batters do understand that they failed to, respond to that pressure, that challenge of playing on whatever pitch. The pitch was not bad at all. We just didn't play well enough to get to their first inning, closer to that first inning score of theirs, and then obviously with 100 runs behind. We always knew that it is going to be challenging whatever score we have to get, because as the game went on, the pitch started behaving slightly differently, and then 350 to get. We knew that the mindset that we had was wanting to get those runs. We had a great partnership with Jaiswal and Gill in the middle, but again then we lost wickets. Quickly after that, and then obviously we knew that the game was slipping out of our hands, and then we failed to respond to that pressure. हाँ, देखिए अभी ये 2 टेस्ट मैचेस में हुआ है ऐसा। हमने 18 सीरीज़ इंडिया में जीती है, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि हमने बहुत से चीज़ें अच्छे किए। पहले इनिंग में बैटिंग अच्छा किया है, सेकेंड इनिंग में बैटिंग अच्छा किया है, और ये सीरीज़ में शायद हम वैसे तरीके से बैटिंग नहीं कर पाए जैसे हम लोग को करना चाहिए था, बट ऐसे चीज़ें होती है। कंसिस्टेंटली हमने चैलेंजिंग पिचेस पे बैटर्स ने रन बनाए हैं जब भी हमने इंडिया में खेला है, तो मैं ज़्यादा कुछ इसमें सोचना नहीं चाहूँगा कि हमने बहुत कुछ उल्टा सीधा कर दिया है। आई थिंक 2 मैच हमारे ख़राब रहे बैटर्स के, 2 इनिंग ख़राब रहे एक्चुअली देखा जाए तो, 2 या 3 इनिंग, बट ऐसा होता है। कभी कभी आप इतना कंसिस्टेंटली आप इतना मैचेस जीत रहे हो, इतना अच्छा कर रहे हो, तो एक आध सीरीज़ में हो जाता है कि जो करना चाहिए वो होता नहीं है। तो आई थिंक ये सीरीज़ में ऐसे ही हुआ, जो हम करना चाह रहे थे वो हो नहीं सका हमारे बैटर से। तो बट मैं किसी की एबिलिटी पर डाउट नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि सबके पास काफ़ी एबिलिटी है, और इन्हीं लड़कों ने हमें ये सब मैचेस जो पिछले सीरीज़ों में हम जीते, यही सब बैटर्सों ने जीता है। तो ज़्यादा पोस्टमार्टम नहीं करना चाहूँगा इस चीज़ का, बट हाँ ये देख सकते हैं कि हमें ऐसे सिचुएशन में क्या करना चाहिए डिफरेंटली। सारे बैटर्स को अपने अपने प्लान से आना चाहिए, सारे बैटर्स को अपने प्लान पे ट्रस्ट करना चाहिए कि ये प्लान मेरा है और ये प्लान मेरा वर्क करेगा। नहीं वर्क करता है वो अलग बात है, बट ट्रस्ट करना चाहिए कि वो होगा। न्यूजीलैंड के बैटर्सों ने दिखाया कि अगर आप एक मेथड से खेलोगे, प्रेशर डालोगे बॉलर पे, तो काम हो सकता है। बट अगेन वो बहुत डिपेंड करता है। न्यूजीलैंड गेम में आगे चल रही थी तो उनके बैटर्स फ्रीली खेल रहे थे। पिछले 5-6 सालों में उल्टा हो रहा था, हम गेम चला रहे थे, तो ऐसा होता है। तो आई विल नॉट लुक टू मच इनटू इट। आई थिंक इट्स टू अर्ली टू थिंक अबाउट WTC। I think I'm just hurting because we lost the game. That is what I will say. I can't think about what lies ahead and can it affect our chances and all of that stuff. I think we didn't play well enough in these 2 games, and that is hurting. We lost the series. That is hurting clearly. But like I just said, there are things that we need to do as a unit, not just the batters but also the bowlers. It's a collective failure from the bowlers and the batters. So if you lose a test match, it is not just because of one particular thing, it is just the entire unit collectively failing, because it's when you win a test match, everyone deserves that credit. If you lose a test match, it's the same way. Everyone has to take that blame. No, if you bat for 3 days, you will win a test match. So there were 3 days in the game that was left. So I think the idea was to try and get to that score, because when the pitch is doing what it's doing, it's not easy to just play with that one mindset. You have to look to get runs also, and that's how you try and put the bowlers under pressure. Like I just mentioned about New Zealand batters, they they were trying to do different things, and it worked very well for them. Because they were trying to do different things and put bowlers under pressure, and in that process there is a good chance that the bowlers will try and do different things, misread the length, try and do different things, and that works in the opposition favors, and that is exactly what happened. We were trying to do different things, but it didn't work for us. It worked for New Zealand, and that's how they went and got those runs, and we failed to get those runs. But again, if we feel like it, we can save a test match. We can save a test match. But I thought there was a good chance for us winning the test match. You get a couple of big partnerships. You never know, anything is possible, and there's so much time left in the game. So by no means I will go in that mindset of first saving a test match and then winning it. No, I think my mindset works little reverse. I would first try and find opportunity to win games, and then if that doesn't work out, then we'll try and find other options. But I think the mentality has to be to win the test match. That's how we were able to pull that Kanpur test match off in 2 days, because we had that mindset of going and getting those runs quickly. So here again, I know it was a lot of runs on that pitch, but we were 100 for 1 at one stage. So things like that can happen. You never know. A couple of partnership, like I said, and then the opposition is under pressure to defend that target, and that is what we wanted to do. We wanted to try and put them under pressure by big partnerships and trying to play different shots, but it didn't work in our favor. I just said it. Because of these 3 sessions, I'm not going to react differently. Look at the number of games we have won in India. I think I was just watching the television. Out of the 54 test matches, we have won 42 test matches. That's nearly 80% of the test matches you have won. So there are more good things that has happened than the bad things. So why look at bad things so much? Of course, it is important to look at it, but not react so much where the guys who are within the team start feeling that something different is happening. I don't want to create that kind of environment where people start doubting themselves, people start taking unnecessary pressure. That is not how we want to play the cricket. Of course, you'll lose a series here and there. For good 12 years, we had that great run, which meant that we were doing a lot of good things in those periods. So just because we've lost this series, I don't think there is anything that we need to talk differently or do differently. But yeah, we need to find ways to come out of those situations. Like here, we were put under pressure when you win the toss in India. You get a little bit of advantage of putting runs on the board, and when the pitch is dry, slow, it starts to turn as the game goes on. You try and find your way into the game then, and we found our way. I mean, we got 7 wickets for 60 runs of theirs, having them bowled out for 260 after they were 200 for 3. But मैं अभी पोस्ट मैच में भी बोल के आया हूँ कि we didn't bat it well enough in the first innings. 150, that was not a pitch to get 150. Yeah, we will think about what we didn't do well in that innings, and we will discuss a little bit of things, what can we improve. But yeah, I don't need to open a medical kit and start doing different things. It's important to understand that this team has done a lot of good things as well in the past. Yeah, absolutely. I think that is something that we spoke of. That's one thing that we wanted to do as a team, try and play paddle, reverse, sweep, because when you do those kind of things, they have to take one extra man from the front and put it behind, and that allows you to then play straighter and hit those gaps. And that is what New Zealand did. They exploited that fielders. They played that reverse and sweep and paddle, which meant we had to put the fielders behind square, and that allowed them to then play with the straighter bat as well. So that is what we've been discussing about. We need to try and find ways to score runs. because when you're playing on pitches like this, where the odd ball turns, the odd ball comes with the arm, you have to find options to do different things. And then when you play with that field a little bit, it allows you to then play with a straighter bat as well. But yeah, we've been talking about that for a while, of doing of sweeping and reverse sweeping and stuff like that. But eventually, when the player goes out in the middle, it's his decision what he thinks at that particular time is right to do against certain bowlers. Certain bowlers, it's not easy to sweep and reverse sweep, because they get the ball to come in really quick. So yeah, it depends on every batter that is in the middle to take that call, whether it is doing that or whether it is going down the ground, stepping out and just playing with your soft hand, pushing the ball in the gap, all those things. So that is what I think overall, if I look at the last 10-15 test matches that we played in India, we did that. We were not able to do it in these two games. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what I just said. You don't need to overreact. I am certainly not going to overreact to what has happened here. You need to have a quiet chat with certain individuals and let them know where they are at and what, as a team, we require from them. Other than that, I don't think you need to make them sit in a team room on one-on-one basis and go through their innings and tell them this is what you should be doing and this is what you shouldn't be doing. I don't think this is the right forum to do that. But again, it's important that when we were in the place of having played only 5 or 6 test matches, all we wanted was the support from the team and the captain, the coach and the management. And that is what I'm going to try and do with a lot of guys who haven't been to Australia or playing their first or second test matches, whether it's in India or Australia for that matter. So clear messages, keeping them nice and calm, making them feel that they belong here. Those are the things that they need to understand, and that is our responsibility. That is something that we got to make sure that we try and keep imposing on the team. No, I think it's through the messages, through the talks that we have. We talk about the stuff that we are required to go and do in the game. So in terms of messaging, I don't think there is any unclear messages or unclarity about what they are supposed to do. They've come here because they are good at something, and that is what we want to rely on. Because they are good at something, we want to focus more on that part rather than not knowing or not understanding what they don't do or they can't do. Because some of the guys, a lot of us actually, not some of the guys, a lot of us have played a lot of cricket on our strength, not weaknesses. So weaknesses are there, but it is there for you to improve on, work on. But I think when you want to play 10-15 years of international cricket, you work more on your strength rather than your weakness. Because you keep building on your strength more and more, and that allows you to have more success than failure. Weaknesses are important to address, but I believe it should be a ratio of 70-30% or a 60-40%. Yeah, I mean, they know that. Ash and Jadeja specifically you're talking about. They know that. I mean, see, look, there's too much expectations on those two guys. Every game they play, they are expected to take wickets. They are expected to run through the team, and they're expected to win test matches for us. I don't think that's fair. It's the responsibility of all of us to make sure that we get the test match wins, not just the two guys. Of course, they by their standard, they know where they stand and what haven't they been able to do or what they have done really well. But again, both of them have played so much cricket here and have such huge contributions to our success of having that home streak of 18 series. These two have played a major role in that. So couple of series, I'm not going to look into too much, especially with those two guys. They know exactly what happens, and sometimes they are allowed to not. They are allowed to have some bad games here and there and not go by that expectation that okay, this is the opportunity for me to take wickets and run through the opposition. That's not going to happen every time. So you got to be ready, with the other guys also to step in. Like we keep talking about with the batters, that it is not responsibility of few individual, it is the collective batting unit who needs to come together. So it's the same with the bowling unit as well. If Ash doesn't do well, it's Jadeja who needs to come to the party, or Washi or Kuldeep or Aksar, those guys. So it has to be shared amongst everyone. But yeah, look, Washi had a great game. I'm really proud of that. He's proud of that, and we are happy with his performance. He bowled so well, and then again, for like you said about Santner, kept the ball on the stumps, and that is where the challenge happens. When you pitch it on the stumps, you don't know which one is going away, which one is keeping straight, and that is something that we had to exploit a lot more as a bowling unit, to try and make them play as many as possible and pitch it more on the stumps. Those are the things that we will sit and discuss, and we'll go through it and see where they are at with that. But again, you're talking about someone who's taking 500 wickets and 300 wickets respectively. So they know exactly how they've gotten those wickets and how they have every time, come out and won test matches for us. So it's a very hard ball, honestly, on them to just have that expectations every time that they turn up that they need to take wickets for us. It can happen. It can happen that things won't work out for them, but that's the time where others need to step in and take that extra responsibility. See, if you know the answer before the match, you can do that. But when you go into the game, you don't know what to expect. Like I didn't expect the ball to seam around that much in Bangalore, right? And it's the same thing here. You can't think like that and say we'll go with 5 spinners or 4 spinners. You try and have the best balance possible. If the ball is reversing, you need the fast bowlers to come in. Yes, there are times where they will not have so much role to play. It happened the same with New Zealanders as well. Their seamers hardly bowled more than 10 overs. So you read the pitch. That is why you play 3 spinners. That is why we played 3 spinners, because we wanted to have that balance of spin, pace as well. If the ball starts keeping low and there is an invariable bounce, you need then seamers to come into the picture. So that's how we picked the team. अरे ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ा ना सीमर्स का इतना. स्पिनर्स लोग डाल रहे थे, स्पिनर्स लोग का काम हो रहा था. तो ऐसा होता है इंडिया में. देखो, अभी तो मैंने बताया यही चीज़ कि ये दो गेम हुआ है जहाँ पे हमारे थोड़े कोलैप्सेस हुए. हमने इतना मैचेस जीता है इंडिया में, तो उसके बारे में आप सोच रहे हो कि नहीं. बैटर्स ने ख़राब पिचेस पे बैटिंग करके रन बनाए, जीता है. ये पहली बार हुआ है जहाँ पे वो कोलैप्सेस हो रहे, हम ठीक से बैटिंग नहीं कर पा रहे. तो 12 साल में एक बार तो अलाउड है यार. इतना कोलैप्सेस अगर 12 साल से हो रहा था तो हम शायद जीत ही नहीं पाते. बट इंडिया में हमारा एक्सपेक्टेशंस बहुत रहता है कि हम जो भी मैच खेलेंगे हमको जीतना ही है. हमने आदत बनाया वो, नॉट आप लोग का उसमें कोई गलती नहीं है ये, क्योंकि इतना अच्छा क्रिकेट हमने खेला है, इंडियन टीम ने खेला है, तो वो एक्सपेक्टेशंस एक लेवल के ऊपर चला गया है कि जहाँ पे एक्सपेक्टेशंस ये है कि इंडिया कोई चीज़ गलत कर ही नहीं सकती है. इंडिया में ऐसा नहीं होता है, क्योंकि ऑपोजिशन भी क्रिकेट खेल रही है. ऑपोजिशन इंडिया को देख रही है इतने सालों से कि इंडिया क्या कर रही है, क्यों इतना मैचेस जीतती है इंडिया. तो वो लोग भी प्रिपेयर होके आते हैं. तो समटाइम्स वो बहुत छोटा सा मार्जिन है जहाँ पे एक बाहर की टीम आ रही है, वो हमसे थोड़ा सा बेहतर खेल रही है और जीत रही है. बस वो ही है. मैं ज़्यादा उसमें नहीं देख सकता, क्योंकि जैसे मैंने बोला कि हमने बहुत मैं 12 साल की भी नहीं बात करूँगा, पिछले 4 साल जो हमने क्रिकेट खेला है, काफ़ी चैलेंजिंग क्रिकेट खेला है. अगर आप देखो कि लास्ट सीरीज़ भी जो बांग्लादेश के साथ हम जीते, और उसके पहले इंग्लैंड के साथ जीते 4-1. तो अगर आपको उसका सिनारियोज अगर याद होगा तो पता चलेगा कि हमने किस तरीके से वो टेस्ट मैचेस जीते। हमारे सारे नए लड़के आए थे टीम में खेलने, तो इसीलिए मुझे ज़्यादा ये 2 मैचेस में हारे हम लोग दुखी है, दुखी होना भी ज़रूरी है, बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आप पूरा अपना सिस्टम उल्टा पुल्टा कर दो। हमारा जो सिस्टम है, एक तरीके से हम क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं, वो तरीका हमें थोड़ा सा बदलने की ज़रूरत है और कुछ नहीं। बस बाकी जो मैसेजिंग है, जो लड़कों को बोला जा रहा है, जो लड़कों को करने को बोल रहे हैं हम, ऐसे पिचेस पे हम चाहते हैं कि लड़के थोड़ा बिंदास जाके खेले। उसमें हो सकता है कि वो लड़के आउट भी हो जाए, तो हमें थोड़ा सा पेशेंस रखना पड़ेगा ऐसे सिचुएशन में, ऐसे टाइम में जहाँ पे थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे हो जाता है। तो अभी मैं समझूंगा यही कि हमारा जो सोच था वो थोड़ा सा नीचे हो गया है, ऊपर नहीं गया है। हम हार गए टेस्ट मैच तो लगेगा कि सब कुछ गलत हो गया है, बट आई डोंट थिंक कि सब कुछ गलत हो गया है। हम ठीक से क्रिकेट नहीं खेल पाए, इसीलिए शायद हम